The rain hammered down like God's own judgment, turning Central Park into a slick, unforgiving maze of shadows. 12-year-old Christopher huddled under a sodden newspaper, his small frame shaking not just from the cold but from the echo of his father's roar still ringing in his ears. "You're no son of mine, you little freak." And just like that, the door to the only home he'd known slammed shut forever, leaving him with nothing but a backpack stuffed with a change of clothes and a half-eaten peanut butter sandwich. He'd run at first blocks and blocks through the Bronx streets, heart pounding like it might burst from his chest, until his legs gave out here, in the heart of the park where tourists snapped selfies by day and the forgotten souls like him claimed benches by night. Christopher curled tighter, whispering prayers to a God who'd clearly turned his back, wondering if the worms in the grass would be softer than the concrete he'd collapse onto come morning. By dawn, the downpour had eased to a drizzle, but the chill had seeped into his bones like ice water. He hadn't slept. Not really. Just drifted in and out of feverish dreams where his mom's soft hands pulled him close, only for her silence to betray him when his dad found the crumpled note in his room. "I think I like boys." She'd looked away, tears in her eyes, but said nothing as the belt cracked and the curses flew. Now, the park stirred with joggers in neon gear, oblivious to the kid who smelled like wet dog and despair. Christopher's stomach twisted, a sharp reminder of the sandwich long gone. He sat up, wiping mud from his jeans, and scanned for a trash bin anything edible would do. That's when he saw the man. Tall, broad-shouldered, in a tailored wool coat that screamed money, striding along the path with earbuds in, steam rising from his breath in the crisp air. Jason Hargrove, though Christopher didn't know it yet, was nursing his own hangover from a boardroom brawl the night before, the kind where mergers turned into bloodbaths and his tech empire's stock ticked up another half-point. Jason's eyes flicked over, habit from scanning crowds for threats or opportunities, and locked on the boy. Something in that hollow stare hit him like a gut punch, a mirror to the scrawny kid he'd been at that age, dodging fists in a Queens trailer park. He slowed, pulled out his earbuds, and before he could talk himself out of it, veered off the path. "Hey, kid," Jason said, voice low and gravelly from too many late nights and whiskeys. He crouched down, keeping distance like he was approaching a skittish alley cat. "You okay? Looks like you got caught in the storm." Christopher flinched, scrambling back until his spine hit the bench arm. "I'm fine." "Go away." His voice cracked, small and fierce, but his eyes darted to Jason's polished loafers, then up to the face that wasn't twisted in hate, just concern, lined with the faint scars of someone who'd fought his own wars. Jason didn't budge. He glanced at the backpack, the mud-caked sneakers 2 sizes too big. "Bullshit. You been out here all night? What's your name?" "Chris," he muttered, hugging his knees. No one called him Christopher anymore. It felt too soft, too breakable. "And yeah. So what? It's not your problem." Jason chuckled, a dry sound without humor. "Everything in this city's somebody's problem if you look close enough. Mine now, I guess." He shrugged off his coat, silk-lined, worth more than Christopher's entire wardrobe, and draped it over the boy's shoulders. It swallowed him whole, warm and smelling of expensive cologne and faint cigar smoke. "Come on. There's a diner 2 blocks over. Pancakes on me." "No strings." Christopher stared, suspicion warring with the growl in his gut. Adults didn't do nice without wanting something ugly in return. But the coat's weight was a lifeline, and the promise of hot food cracked his resolve. He nodded once, stiffly, and followed Jason out of the park, stepped silent on the leaf-strewn sidewalk. The diner was a greasy spoon relic, Formica counters scarred from decades of hash browns and heartbreak. Jason ordered stacks for both of them, plus bacon and OJ, sliding into a booth like he owned the place, which, in a way, he did. His apps funded half the real estate boom downtown. Christopher devoured his first bite like a feral thing, syrup dripping down his chin, until shame hit and he slowed, wiping his mouth with the back of his hand. "So," Jason said, sipping black coffee, "what's the story? Run away? Fight with the folks?" Christopher's fork froze midway to his mouth. The words bubbled up, hot and unwanted. "They threw me out. 'Cause I'm gay." He forced it out, chin jutting defiantly, waiting for the recoil. Jason didn't blink. Just set his mug down. Slow. "Yeah, well, that's their loss, kid. World's full of assholes who'd rather hate than hug. You got family elsewhere? Aunt? Uncle?" He shook his head, eyes on his plate. "Just them. Dad said I'm going to hell. Mom just watched." A muscle ticked in Jason's jaw, memories flashing of his own coming out at 16, disowned, couch surfing through hell until he clawed his way to Stanford on scholarships and spite. "Hell's for the cowards who stay silent," he said quietly. "Not you. Eat up. We'll figure the rest." By the time the check came, Jason had a plan forming, the kind that turned startups into unicorns. Decisive, no bullshit. He paid cash, hundreds crisp from his wallet, and led Christopher to his sleek black SUV idling curbside. "Crash at my place tonight. Guest rooms bigger than your average apartment. Tomorrow, we call social services. Get you sorted." Christopher hesitated at the door, the coat still draped like a cape. "Why? You don't even know me." Jason met his gaze, steady as steel. "Because I was you, once. And nobody stopped for me." He opened the door, and for the first time in hours, Christopher felt the ghost of a spark. Not hope, exactly, but possibility. The penthouse overlooked the Hudson, all glass walls and minimalist furniture that screamed, "I made it, fuckers." Christopher trailed Jason inside, sneakers squeaking on marble, feeling like an intruder in a museum. Jason tossed him a towel from a linen closet that could double as a walk-in, then fired up the espresso machine. Showers down the hall. Clean clothes in the dresser should fit. "I'll order pizza if you're still hungry." Under the steaming spray, Christopher scrubbed until his skin pinked, tears mixing with the water. He emerged in borrowed sweats, soft cotton, smelling like detergent and safety, and found Jason on the leather couch, laptop open, scrolling foster care resources with the focus of a man acquiring companies. They ate pizza cross-legged on the floor, some reality show droning on TV about rich idiots falling in love. Christopher picked at pepperoni, stealing glances. Jason was maybe 35, dark hair tousled, green eyes sharp but kind, with laugh lines that deepened when he cracked jokes about the show's drama. "See that guy? Total tool. Bet he ghosts her by finale." For the first time, Christopher laughed. A small, rusty sound. "Yeah. Like my dad." Jason's expression softened. "Hey. Your dad's a tool too. But you're not defined by him. You're smart. I saw it in your eyes back there. What do you like? School? Sports? Art?" Christopher admitted, cheeks flushing. "Drawing stuff. Comics. Mostly. No shit? I'm a crap artist. But I know people. Ever think about digital? My company's got software for that. Jason leaned back. Casual. But his mind raced. This kid needed more than a night. He needed a shot. That night, in the guest room with sheets thread count high, Christopher stared at the ceiling fan's lazy spin. The cities hum a lullaby. Down the hall, Jason poured a scotch, staring out at the glittering skyline, wondering what the hell he'd just signed up for. But deep down, he knew some detours weren't mistakes. They were the map. Morning brought sunlight slicing through blinds, and Christopher woke to the smell of bacon. Real breakfast, not the sad cereal of his old life. Jason was at the island counter. Phone to his ear. Voice all business. Yeah. Pull the files on youth programs. And that mentorship grant. Double it if you have to. He hung up. Grinned. Fuel up. We've got calls to make. Social services was a blur of forms and sympathetic voices on speakerphone. Christopher sat silent, picking at eggs, until the caseworker asked his side. I just want to draw, he said, voice steady. And not freeze. Jason's hand landed light on his shoulder. First touch. Grounding. He's with me till we sort this. Safe. By noon. It was official. Temporary placement. No park benches. No rain. As they stepped into the elevator, Jason ruffled his hair. Welcome to Plan B, kid. It's better than A. Christopher looked up, something cracking open in his chest. Thanks, Jace. The nickname stuck. Easy as breathing. Weeks blurred into routine. School transfer to a Manhattan prep where uniforms itched but teachers saw potential. Afternoons in Jason's home office, sketching on a tablet that materialized overnight, the stylus gliding like magic. Jason worked late, but always carved out time, homework checks over takeout tie, stories of his rise from nothing, coding in basements, pitching to VCs who laughed him out until one didn't. You're gonna crush it, Jason said one evening, watching Christopher shade a superhero panel. All capes and defiance. That fire? It's gold. Christopher blushed, hiding behind his hair. Jason's praise warmed him deeper than any blanket, stirring feelings he couldn't name, gratitude twisting into something sharper, sweeter. At night, he'd replay Jason's laugh, the way his shirts hugged broad shoulders, and wake sweaty, confused. Jason noticed the shifts, the lingering looks, the shy smiles. At 35, he'd navigated hookups in steamy clubs, but this, a kid on the cusp, echoing his own buried longings. He kept it light, paternal movie nights with popcorn forts, trips to MoMA where Christopher's eyes lit like Christmas. But cracks showed. Jason's ex, a slick lawyer named Trent, called late one night, voice slurred, heard you playing daddy to some street rat. Careful. Jay, charity's cute till it bites. Jason hung up, jaw tight, but the seed planted. Was he saving Christopher? Or just himself? Fall deepened, leaves turning the park into a firework of red and gold. They walked their Saturdays, Christopher's hand brushing Jason's accidentally, sparks jumping. Remember that first rain? Christopher asked, kicking a pile. Jason nodded, throat tight. Yeah. Best decision I never planned. Their eyes met, air thick. Christopher stepped closer, heart hammering. Jace. I think Not yet, Jason cut in, gentle but firm, thumb brushing his cheek. You're 14 now. Time for you first. Hurt flickered, but trust held. Promise you'll wait? Jason's smile was a vow. Promise. Winter hit hard. Snow blanketing the city like forgiveness. Christopher thrived, art club star. Grades soaring, but holidays loomed. A ghost of eviction passed. Jason strung lights on the balcony, baked cookies that charred, laughed it off. Christmas Eve, under a tree groaning with gifts, sketchbooks, a leather jacket, a custom tablet, Christopher unwrapped a locket. Inside, a tiny photo of them in the park. Rain-faded but real. For luck, Jason said, voice rough. You're family now. Tears spilled as Christopher hugged him fierce, bodies fitting like puzzle pieces. Love you, Jace. Love you too, kid. But love has edges, and theirs was sharpening. Spring brought change. Jason's company IPO'd, shares skyrocketing, paparazzi sniffing at his bachelor pad. Reporters cornered Christopher at school. What's it like living with the tech king? And whispers followed, gold digger, charity case. Jason shielded him, but stress etched lines deeper. Late calls from investors. Trent circling back with friendly advice that reeked of sabotage. One night, bourbon loosened. Jason confessed over steak. I built this empire running from my own shit. Dad beat the gay out of me or tried. Now, feels like it's catching up. Christopher listened, hand over Jason's. You're not running anymore. We're in it. Eyes locked. The air charged. Jason pulled away, but not before Christopher felt the tremor, the want mirroring his own. Summer scorched. Internships for Jason meaning empty evenings. Christopher, 15 now, taller, voice dropping, explored the city solo galleries, pride parades where rainbows felt like home. He drew Jason in secret, portraits capturing that quiet strength, the vulnerability in green eyes. Betrayal brewed slow. Trent, ever the snake, dug into records. Christopher's file, juicy for tabloids. Foster kid with a crush? Headline gold. He texted Jason. Attachment a blurry photo of Christopher's sketchbook. Swiped during a casual visit. Jason confronted him at a rooftop bar. Face thunderous. What the fuck? Trent? This ends now. Trent smirked. Martini swirling. Protecting your little pet? Or scared he'll grow up and see you're just a lonely old perv? Fury boiled. Jason shoved him, glass shattering. Security hauled Trent out, but damage done, words like poison, doubt creeping. Home. Jason paced, Christopher watching wide-eyed. What's wrong? Nothing you did, Jason lied, pulling him into a hug that lingered too long. Just grown-up crap, but eyes don't lie. Christopher pulled back, hurt blooming. Am I a burden? Like Dad said. God. No. Jason cupped his face, thumbs tracing jaw. You're everything. The kiss happened then, impulsive, desperate. Christopher leaned in, lips soft, tasting of mint and youth. Jason froze, then deepened it, hands in hair, world narrowing to heat and heartbeat. They broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed. Shit, Jason whispered. We can't. I want to, Christopher breathed. I've wanted since the park. Jason's resolve cracked, but reason held for now. Wait. Please. For us. Nodding, Christopher retreated to his room, body thrumming, heart full. But outside, storm clouds gathered. Autumn winds whipped through the canyons of Manhattan, carrying the scent of street vendors and impending frost. Christopher, now 16, navigated the prep school's halls with a sketchpad under his arm, his locket glinting against a faded band tee. The kiss lingered like a bruise, sweet, aching, fueling late-night drawings of Jason's profile, the curve of his neck, the way his eyes crinkled in rare, unguarded smiles. School buzzed with homecoming hype, but Christopher's world orbited one man, the one who'd rewritten his stars. Jason threw himself into work, the IPO's afterglow demanding endless meetings in glass towers. His penthouse felt emptier, echoes of that kiss haunting the space. At 37, he was a catch on paper Forbes list, chiseled jaw, a philanthropy arm funding queer youth shelters, but inside, he warred with himself. Christopher wasn't a kid anymore. The boy who'd shivered in the park was morphing into a young man, all lean muscle and quiet intensity. Jason dated casually, a model here, a producer there, but they blurred into placeholders, none igniting the fire that one stolen moment had. Trent's shadow loomed. Whispers in boardrooms, Hargrove's got a live-in foster, scandal waiting? Jason lawyered up, but paranoia festered. One evening, returning from a gala in a tux that hugged like sin, he found Christopher on the balcony, city lights painting him ethereal. "Missed you," Christopher said, voice low, handing over a sketch. Jason mid-laugh, captured raw. Jason's breath hitched. "This is incredible." He traced the lines, fingers brushing Christopher's. Electricity arced, pulling them close. "You see me like no one else." Their lips met again, slower this time, deliberate. Hands roamed, Jason's on Christopher's waist, tentative, Christopher's fisting shirt, bold. They tumbled inside, shedding layers on the rug, bodies aligning in a dance of rediscovery. It was fire and forgiveness, gasps echoing off walls, Jason whispering beautiful like a prayer as they crossed the line they towed for years. After, tangled in sheets, Christopher traced Jason's chest scars, faded welts from a father's rage. "Your turn to tell," Jason exhaled, story spilling. The beatings, the closet, the suicide attempt at 17 swallowed by river water. Climbed out. Built walls instead. Christopher kissed each mark. "No more walls. Not with me." Dawn brought reality's chill. Over coffee, Jason set boundaries. "This us stays private. You're still in school. Me. But yeah. We're doing this." Christopher grinned, locket swinging. Finally, life synced to their rhythm. Stolen mornings before Jason's jet to Silicon Valley. Evenings with Christopher's head in his lap. Portfolio critiques turning intimate. Jason funded an art residency for him. Summer in Brooklyn studios, and Christopher bloomed, pieces fetching gallery nods. But conflict simmered. Christopher's friends pried. "That hot older guy? Spill." He deflected, but isolation gnawed. Jason's world pulled him to galas, where Trent slithered back, champagne flute in hand. "Still slumming it?" Trent sneered at one fundraiser, voice oily. "Kid's gonna tank your rep when he ages out." Jason's fist clenched. "Walk away, Trent. Or I bury you." Laughter rippled, Trent's cronies, vultures in Armani. "Bury me? With what? Your sob story? I know about the park pickup." Hero complex much. The seed of betrayal took root that night. Jason doubting his own narrative. Savior or selfish? Winter holidays tested them. Jason's family, distant Texan oil money, Bible thumpers who'd cut him off, sent a card, praying for your soul. Christopher burned it in the sink. Flames dancing. Fuck him. We make our own. New Year's. They rang in on the balcony. Fireworks bursting over the Hudson. Jason dropped to one knee. Not proposal, but promise offering a key. Engraved hours. Move in for real. After graduation, Christopher's yes was a sob, sealing it with salt and heat. Spring thawed secrets. Christopher's art show debut. Raw pieces of their story. Abstract but telling, rain-soaked benches, shadowed embraces. Jason attended incognito, hat low, pride swelling as bids climbed. In the green room, alone, he pulled Christopher close. Proud doesn't cover it, but Trent lurked, snapping candids. Jason's hand on Christopher's back, too lingering. By morning, emails flooded Jason's inbox. Anonymous tips. Trent's fingerprints all over. Protect your brand. Cut ties. Jason deleted them, but sleep evaded. He confided in a therapist. Sessions booked under alias. Am I grooming him or loving him? Love doesn't need labels, she said. But power does. Balance it. He tried enrolling Christopher in therapy too. Separate spaces to unpack traumas. Christopher resisted at first. I'm fine. But opened up about the abandonment, the fear of being too much. Sessions wove them tighter. Vulnerabilities shared over late-night ice cream. Summer scorched again. Christopher 18 now. Legal in every sense. He deferred college for the residency. Days lost in paint and charcoal. Nights lost in Jason. Their love deepened. Romantic dinners at hole-in-walls. Road trips upstate where they hiked trails hand in hand. No eyes watching. One weekend. Finger Lakes cabin. Lazy mornings in flannel sheets. Jason cooking pancakes that didn't burn. Marry me? He murmured. Half joking. Ringless finger tracing Christopher's. Someday, Christopher whispered. Heart full. When the world's ready. Betrayal struck like lightning. Back in the city, Jason's phone buzzed mid-meeting. TMZ alert. Headline. Tech mogul's secret. Hargrove's foster fling exposed. Photos. Trent's candids. Splashed across. The kiss in the green room. Balcony embrace. Even a blurred bedroom shot. Hacked security feed. Jason's world imploded. Stocks dipped. Board demanded explanations. Reporters swarmed the lobby. Flashes blinding. He raced home, finding Christopher pale on the couch. Laptop open to the carnage. It's out, Christopher said, voice hollow. They called me a hustler. Gold-digging twink. Jason knelt, pulling him close. Fuck them. We'll lawyer up, sue Trent to oblivion. But Christopher pulled away. Eyes shattered. You promised private. Now, I'm the punchline. Your career. My career's nothing without you. Jason's voice broke. We fight this. Tears fell. Do we? Or am I just the mistake you saved? The words gutted Jason, echoing his deepest fear. He stormed out, to the office, slamming deals to drown doubt. Days blurred, PR spin, injunctions, Trent countersuing for defamation, claiming public interest. Christopher retreated inward, sketches turning dark, shattered capes, raining benches. Friends ghosted, school buzzed with pity. Alone. He scrolled comments. Predator. Shameless kid. Doubt poisoned. Was this love? Or pity evolved? Climax brewed at the board meeting. Jason. Suited sharp. Faced suits sharper. Resign the boy. Or we pull funding. Go to hell, Jason snarled. Walking out, company be damned. He returned home, flowers in hand, ready to beg. But Christopher waited with bags packed. I need space, Jace. To know if this is real without the spotlight. Heart fracturing. Jason nodded. Whatever you need. But I'm not letting go. Christopher left for a friend's crash pad. The door click echoing like finality. Jason poured scotch, staring at the park view. Rain starting again. He'd saved a boy once. Now, to save a man, and their love he'd have to let go. The city pulsed indifferent, a beast that chewed dreams and spat bones. Christopher crashed on a Soho loft couch, surrounded by half-finished canvases and the pitying eyes of his one loyal friend, Mia, a dyke painter with tattoos like war stories. Days bled into weeks. He sketched furiously, pieces born of rage and rupture. Fractured silhouettes against stormy skies, lovers torn by lightning. Galleries nibbled, but the scandal's stink lingered, whispers following like smoke. Nights were worst, empty, the locket heavy around his neck. Jason's scent faded from borrowed hoodies. Texts came sporadic. Miss you. Therapy at 3, Christopher replied curt. Then ghosted. Pride a brittle shield. He dove into pride events. Rainbow flags whipping in wind. Bodies grinding to bass that drowned doubt. Hookups happened quick. Anonymous in club bathrooms. Boys with easy smiles and no baggage. But they tasted like ash. Eyes closing to summon green ones. Broad hands that knew his scars. Jason unraveled in slow motion. The penthouse echoed. Takeout containers piling like accusations. He sued Trent, vicious. No holds barred. Lawyers eviscerating the bastard in depositions. Exposing his own embezzlement skeletons. Victory came swift. Settlement millions. Trent's career ash. But it rang hollow. Board ousted Jason anyway, parachuting him with stock that bought islands. Not peace. He wandered the park at dawn. Bench reclaimed. Rain or shine. Memories assaulted. That first coat. Syrup-sticky mornings. Therapy peeled layers. Abandonment's roots twisting through his empire building. You fear loss because you hoard control, his shrink said. Jason nodded, but action lagged. He funneled millions into shelters, named one after Christopher Hargrove House for the thrown out. Word reached Christopher via Mia's gossip chain. He's building empires for strays like us, she said over cheap wine. But you're the one that broke him. Guilt gnawed. Christopher showed at a gallery opening, his solo, raw edges bared. Jason was there, back row, shadows hugging his frame, thinner, eyes haunted. Their gazes locked across the crowd. Applause faded, world narrowing. After, in the alley, rain slicking bricks, Christopher cornered him. Saw the shelter. Flashy much. Jason's laugh was ghost thin. Had to do something. You're worth billions, Chris. In every way. Arms wrapped. Desperate. Bodies crashing like waves. They fucked against the wall, urgent. Reclaiming, rain washing sins. Breaths mingling in steam. Don't leave again, Jason gasped. Forehead to wall. I won't, Christopher vowed. But dawn brought clarity's cold. They tried rebuilding, tentative coffees turning to dinners, hands laced under tables. Jason sold the penthouse, too haunted, relocating to a Brooklyn brownstone, cozy with exposed brick and a studio for Christopher's chaos. Mornings synced, Jason brewing pour-overs, Christopher sketching at the island, feet tangled. Romance reignited soft. Picnics in the park, ironic. Healing. Jazz clubs where Jason's off-key hum made Christopher snort. Sex evolved, tender now. Explorations in daylight. Whispers of futures. College. Jason prompted one lazy Sunday. Fingers carding hair. Art school. RISD. You, Christopher teased, knowing. Whatever keeps me near. Jason's grin was boyish, walls crumbling. But betrayal's echo lingered. Paparazzi hounded. Tabloids dredging. Hargrove's toy boy turns 19. Still playing house? Christopher's confidence cracked. Classes at community college, deferral burned. Brought scrutiny. Professors side-eyeing his patron. External storm hit. Jason's sister, long estranged Texan firebrand named Lila, surfaced. Email first, heard about your little soap opera. Family's a joke, but blood's blood. Coming to NYC. She arrived whirlwind boots stomping, drawl thick, crashing the brownstone unannounced. Jesus, Jay, you look like warmed over shit, she drawled, hugging fierce despite the rift. Lila, 40 and unapologetically queer, ran a ranch for at-risk LGBTQ plus kids back home. Their dad's deathbed plea had thawed ice. Fix your family, son. Over brisket she cooked, smoke alarms blaring. Stories flowed, shared beatings. Jason's escape tales mirroring Christopher's. Lila eyed him appraisingly. Kid's got spine. Treat him right, or I'll kick your ass. Laughter bridged gaps, but Lila saw cracks. He's holding back, she told Jason post-dinner. Christopher sketching in the next room. Scared you'll bolt when it gets real. Jason deflected, but truth stung. He proposed therapy together, couple sessions, unpacking power imbalances. I'm not your savior, he admitted one evening, vulnerability raw. Just a guy who fell hard. Christopher squeezed his hand. My guy. That's enough. Summer hummed content. Road trip cross-country. Mustang convertible hugging coasts. Stops at diners evoked that first meal. Motels with neon buzz. Bodies entwined under threadbare quilts. In Big Sur. Cliffs dropping to ocean roar. Christopher confessed deeper fears. What if I'm not enough? No empire. Just pencils and dreams. Jason pulled him close. Wind whipping. You're my empire. Always were. Fall brought harvest. Christopher's RISD acceptance. Full ride earned on merit. Jason popped champagne. Pride beaming. But conflict crested subtle. A job offer for Jason. CEO gig in San Francisco. Tech Mecca calling. Go, Christopher urged, masking ache. Build again. I'll visit. Jason wavered. Sessions revealing codependence's grip. Can't lose you. You won't. Kiss sealed it. But distance loomed. Winter whispered warnings. Jason prepped the move. Brownstone sublet. Boxes mocking. Christmas. Tree trimmed with park leaves pressed in resin. Gifts wrapped in newsprint scandals. Under lights. Jason knelt proper, ring this time. Platinum band etched with their bench coordinates. Marry me, Chris. Make it legal. Messy. Ours. Tears blurred. Yes. God. Yes. Elation crashed New Year's. Lila's call. Voice cracking. Dad's will contest. Homophobic clause. Inheritance voids if you're living in sin. Ranch at stake. My kids. Jason froze. Ring heavy. We'll fight it. But Christopher overheard. Heart plummeting. Go back. Save them. Us first, Jason insisted. But doubt seeded family versus love. Climax ignited in spring. Courtroom cold in Austin. Lawyers battled. Lila's ranch, haven for hundreds, versus archaic hate. Jason testified. Voice steady. Love isn't sin. It's salvation. Christopher watched from gallery. Support silent. Verdict. Win. Clause struck unconstitutional. Cheers erupted. But Jason's eyes found Christopher's. Shadowed. After party at the ranch. Bonfire crackling. Kids roasting marshmallows. Stories shared. Lila hugged tight. You did it, bro. But midnight. Alone in the barn. Jason confessed. The fight. It reminded me. Families pull. What if? Don't. Christopher's voice broke. Don't choose ghosts over us. I choose you. Jason pulled him close. But words rang hollow. Betrayal unveiled slow. Jason stayed weeks longer. Tying loose ends. Calls shortened. Excuses piled. Christopher returned solo to Brooklyn. Studio echoing. Sketches turned accusatory. Jason's face. Half-shadowed. Truth hit via email. Job acceptance SF permanent. Needed this. For me. Wait. Rage. Grief collided. Christopher packed the ring. Mailed it express. Waiting's done. Heal alone. Jason's reply, please. I love you. Blocked. Silence descended. Heavier than rain. Summer scorched empty. Christopher threw into art exhibition in Chelsea. Pieces screaming loss. Park bench promises. Sold out. Critics raving visceral heartbreak. Mia dragged him to bars. But numbness clung. Jason, in SF's fog, built anew. Company soared. But nights whiskey-soaked. Locket twin around his neck. Lila visited. Blunt. You fucked up. Fix it. Fall leaves fell like regrets. Christopher's opening night. Gallery packed. Flashes popping. Jason appeared. Uninvited. Suit rumpled. Eyes red-rimmed. Chris. Leave. Voice steel. But heart quaked. I sold it all. Back for you. If you'll have me. Crowd hushed. Christopher's laugh bitter. Too late. I waited. You chose. Turned away. But Jason's hand caught wrist. Gentle. Pleading. Chose wrong. Let me prove. Security loomed. Christopher waved them off. One chance. Don't waste it. Outside. Rain always rain. They stood. Soaked. Bridge rebuilding tentative. Reconciliation was no fairy tale snap. It was trench warfare. Mud and miracles. Back in the brownstone reclaimed. Repainted in hopeful blues. Christopher and Jason circled like wary cats. Therapy their referee. Sessions dissected the fracture. Jason's flight to fix via distance. Christopher's armor forged in abandonment. Fear's the real betrayer, their counselor said. Voice even. Name it. Tame it. They did. Slow. Mornings started ritual. Coffee shared. No screens. Just talk. Dreams voiced. Fears aired. Jason stepped back from CEO grind, consulting freelance, prioritizing them. Christopher prepped for RISD, portfolio bursting with healed hues, lovers mending under sunrises, benches blooming vines. Intimacy rebuilt tender, touches lingering without rush, kisses mapping scars anew. One night, candlelit dinner, Jason's attempt at cocoa vin. Edible this time, Christopher slid the ring back on. Second chances. Don't squander. Jason's vow. Never again. External winds howled. Media milked the reunion, headlines sneering Hargrove's prodigal boyfriend. Sponsors pulled from Christopher's shows. Jason's old board whispered blacklists. Lila rallied. Flying in for holidays, her ranch kids video calling with crayon cards. Mr. J plus Chris forever. Winter wrapped them cozy. Christmas at the ranch. Snow-dusted fields. Lila's crew caroling off-key. Jason proposed again proper, under mistletoe strung with locket chains. Christopher's yes drew cheers. Ring slipping easy. Spring bloomed promise. RISD orientation. Christopher wide-eyed in Providence's ivy halls. Jason trailing bags, masking separation anxiety. Weekends. Always, Jason promised, kiss fierce in dorm shadows. But conflict clawed back. Jason's SF offer resurfaced. Board begging return. Equity tripled. 1 year, he pitched over FaceTime. Brooklyn's skyline mocking. Build nest egg. For us wedding, house, kids maybe. Christopher's gut twisted. Kids? Now you want that. With you. Surrogacy. Adoption, whatever. Jason's eyes pleaded. Trust me. Hesitation. Don't make me the anchor again. He went reluctant, rationalized. SF swallowed him. Meetings blurring days. Nights lonely in a condo with Hudson views missed. Calls sustained. Love you mantras. But static crept, excuses lengthening. Christopher thrived at RISD, professors lauding his emotional architecture. Pieces exhibited in campus shows. Hookups? None. Loyalty a tether. Even fraying. Mia visited. Blunt. He's drifting. Cut loose. Summer break. Reunion in Brooklyn. Heatwave sticky. Sex reignited, explosive, pent up, possessive, but talks turned tense. Stay, Christopher begged. Astride Jason's hips. Sweat slick. Fuck the money. Can't. For our future. Jason's hands gripped hips. Conviction wavering. Betrayal redux. Lila's warning call. He's networking with Trent's crowd. Old habits. Jason denied. But photos surfaced. Gala arms with a venture capitalist. Too close. Whispers of fresh start. Tabloids twisted. Hargrove trades twink for tech air. Christopher confronted via video. Screen cold. Who's he? Jace? Your future? Misread. Colleague. Jason's face crumpled. Come here. See for yourself. He went, flight impulsive. Heart armored. SF gleamed sterile. Jason's condo minimalist. Echoes of penthouse ghosts. Tour ended in bed. Bodies frantic. But after, Christopher pressed. Commit. Or end it. I am. Jason's ring twist betrayed nerves. Fall semester loomed. Christopher returned east. Distance a chasm. Packages arrived. Sketches Jason framed. Locket repairs. But texts lagged. Busy the refrain. Climax erupted Thanksgiving. Jason flew east. Brownstone festive. Turkey Mia helped roast. Lila zooming toasts. Laughter flowed, but undercurrents pulled. Post-dinner, alone on balcony, Jason dropped bomb. Extended contract. 6 more months. Promotion means stability. Christopher's fork clattered inside. Out here, voice iced. Stability or escape? Christ. No. Jason reached, rebuffed. You're my anchor. Stop. Tears hot. Anchors sink ships. I'm done waiting. Storm broke. Accusations flying. Jason's ambition a mask for fear. Christopher's independence a wall. You saved me once, Christopher hurled. Now save yourself. Without me, Jason's plea. Don't throw us away. You did. First. Door slammed. Christopher fled to Mia's. Bags forgotten. Jason stayed. Turkey cold. Regret feast. Calls unanswered. Emails unread. Lila mediated. Fly down. Grovel. He did Providence doorstep. Snow flurrying. Christopher opened. Exhausted. Paint flecked. What? Everything. Jason knelt. Ring offered third time, now with a vow book. Handwritten promises. Weekly visits. No galas without you. Therapy monthly. Christopher wavered. Heart warring. Why now? Because losing you twice? Unbearable. Eyes locked. You're my home, Chris. Park bench or penthouse. Pulling him up. Kiss salt stung. Last chance, Christopher whispered. Mean it. I do. Winter healed halting. Jason resigned SF partial remote. Base in NYC. Brownstone became hub. Dual studios. Walls thin for midnight whispers. RISD flourished. Christopher's thesis show loomed. Themes of redemption arcs. Romance deepened humanistic. Volunteer shifts at Hargrove House. Mentoring runaways. Christopher sharing sketches. Jason stories. One boy. Echo of 12-year-old self. Huddled similar. Scared they'll hate me forever. Christopher knelt. They might. But you? Unbreakable. Jason watched. Pride swelling. Like someone I know. Spring wedding planning. Small. Ranch affair. Lila officiating. Kids flower throwing. Vows under oaks. Jason's voice steady. From rain to this you. My son. Christopher's tear-choked. Saved each other. Always. But doubt's whisper persisted. Pre-honeymoon. Trent's final strike. Leaked emails. Jason's old confidences. Twisted. Kids a phase. When he leaves. Confrontation. Brownstone. Pre-dawn. Christopher. Printout trembling. Phase? Me? Jason blanched. Ancient. Prius. Trent's revenge. Doesn't matter. Voice shattered. Words like knives. Jace. Cut deep. Argument raged. Trust's fragility bared. Past poison spilling. Jason begged. Burn it. Burn me if needed. But stay. Christopher fled park. Bench reclaimed. Rain poured. Locket clutched. Hours later, Jason found him. Coat extended, echo perfect. Come home. Acceptance slow. Therapy. Again. Deeper. Anything. Summer honeymoon. Amalfi Cliffs. Seas turquoise. Healing swims. Sunsets ceiling. Back. Showtime. Christopher's fractured vows. Canvases of breaks and bonds. Sold to museums. Jason's toast. To the artist who painted my soul, fall grounded them. Adoption talks. A boy from the shelter. 10. Eyes haunted. Home study passed. Little Eli arrived, wide-eyed, clutching a bear. Nights chaotic, crayons on walls, bedtime stories trios. Jason's whisper to Christopher. Eli asleep between our empire, but humanity's curveball. Eli's trauma surfaced, nightmares, regressions. Therapy family-wide, bonds forging steel. Christopher's patience shown, drawings co-created, superhero dads saving the day. Winter's gift, Eli's first I love yous, tentative. Lila visited, ranch thriving. Y'all did good, climaxes echo faded. Conflicts resolved in mundane grace, date nights squeezed, apologies habitual. Betrayal's scar, faint, reminder, love's work eternal. One rainy eve, park walk, Eli splashing puddles, hands held triple. Christopher leaned into Jason. Worth every storm, Jason kissed temple. Every one, years layered like varnish on old wood, time's patina softening edges. Christopher, 25 now, balanced RISD masters with gallery circuits. His style, raw Americana queer tales, earning TED nods and mural commissions. Jason, 44, pivoted philanthropy full-time, Hargrove Foundation, global nets for thrown-out youth. Eli's face in campaigns, anonymized, beaming. The brownstone expanded, attic converted to Eli's chaos den, walls alive with finger paint wars. Their marriage, 5 years etched, was no honeymoon haze but lived in love. Arguments over Eli's screen time dissolving in laughter. Anniversaries marked by park picnics. Bench reserved like a monument. Sex evolved playful, mornings stolen in showers. Evenings lazy under quilts. Bodies mapped familiar. Surprises sparked by Jason's whispered dares. Eli, 15, bloomed complicated. Soccer star with art streaks. Coming out at 13 with a shrug. Like dads. Met hugs. Not horror. But teen tempests brewed. First crush heartbreaks. School bullies echoing old hates. Family therapy steadied. Christopher sharing sketch journals. Jason vulnerability tales. We got you, refrain constant. External gales tested. Trent's empire crumbled. Fraud charges. Prison orange suiting him. Vindication sweet. But Jason visited once. Hates its own hell. Heal. Christopher's show in L.A. Sanctuaries, installations of reclaimed benches. Interactive queer histories. Jason and Eli flew out. Front row. Post-reception. Hotel suite. Eli crashed early. Parents celebrating slow. Champagne toasts turning to skin. Jason's mouth-tracing wedding band. My sanctuary. Fall brought crossroads. Foundation offer. Jason Helm global expansion. Travel heavy. Echoes of SF chilled. Over dinner, Eli at practice, Christopher voiced. Go if called. But home's here. Jason's hand covered. Learned that. You and him? Non-negotiable. He declined. Countering local, NYC hub, quarterly jaunts. Balance tipped toward roots. Winter's hush. Eli's first gallery walk. His mixed media piece, family portraits. Abstract storms cleared, bidding fierce. Pride swelled triple. After party. Jason pulled Christopher to dance. Slow sway amid chaos. Our boy's a force. Like his dad's. Kiss public. Unapologetic, scandals ghost long banished. Spring renewal. Adoption finalized for a sister. Lila's referral. 6-year-old Maya. Braids and fire. Home doubled noisy. Sibling squabbles. Bedtime marathons. Jason's lullabies off-key. Christopher's stories illustrated on the fly. Exhaustion bonded deeper. Stolen coffee naps. Gratitude notes slipped in lunches. Conflict crested subtle. Christopher's wanderlust. Solo artist retreat in Taos. Month-long. Need space to create, he explained. Packing easels. Jason's nod masked ache. Miss you already. But yeah. Fly. Separation stretched. Calls daily. But vibes shifted. Jason's updates laced envy. Eli's homesick. Mia. Visiting. Teased. He's pouting. Go home early. Christopher did. Surprise return. Desert dust still on boots. Found Jason in studio. Sketching clumsy. Their bench. Eli and Maya added. Missed this. Laughter dissolved tension. Bed that night. Reconnection fierce, hands rediscovering. Vows renewed in gasps. Always back, Christopher murmured. Betrayal's final whisper. Old email dredged in a foundation audit. Jason's youthful doubt. Pre-park. Confronted gentle. Ancient history. Jason admitted. Shamefaced. Burned it in my head. Forgiven. Christopher sealed with kiss. We're past ghosts. Summer solstice. Ranch reunion. Lila's brood swelling. Barbecue under stars. Eli and Maya chasing fireflies. Adults in rockers, stories looping. Laughter healing. Jason's arm around Christopher. Ring glinting. Best detour ever. Fall harvest. Joint exhibit. Christopher's visuals. Jason's foundation tales interwoven. Opening night. Crowd electric. Eli emceeing teen awkward charm. Critics hailed. Humanist triumph. Winter's crown. 10th anniversary. Park at dusk. Bench strung lights. Eli and Maya giggling setups. Dinner catered pancakes. Irony thick, Jason's speech. 12-year-old you saved me too. From loneliness. Tears. Toast. Bed later. Kids tucked. Bodies gentle. Forever. Breathed unison. Years forward blurred benevolent. Eli. 20. NYU film major. Documentary on queer elders. Premiered Sundance. Maya. 11. Violin prodigy with sass. Christopher's murals span cities. Parks reclaimed. Benches engraved hope starts here. Jason's foundation global. Shelters from Bronx to Berlin. His book from park to purpose bestseller. Proceeds fueling. Conflicts. Mundane now budget spats. Teen curfews. But resolved in council. Walks hand in hand. Rain or shine. Romance endured. Surprise getaways. Notes in pockets. Eyes meeting across rooms with that first spark heat. One drizzly dawn. Park ritual, coffee thermos. Bench claimed. Eli and Maya. Teens now. Rolling eyes but joining. Sap alert, Eli groaned. But snapped photo family framed. Unbreakable. Christopher leaned into Jason. Locket warm. Threw me out at 12. You threw me a lifeline. Jason's kiss temple soft. Best investment. Worth every penny. And more. Eli smirked. Gross. But. Thanks. For this. Maya hugged pylon. Love you weirdos. City stirred. Indifferent witness. But for them, rain pattered benediction. A story closed humanistic. Not perfect, but profoundly human. Love, earned in mud and miracles, bloomed eternal. From thrown-out boy to anchored man, Christopher knew home wasn't place. It was them. As sun crested, shadows fleeing, Jason whispered, "Ready for more?" Christopher grinned, hand laced. Always, and they walked on, toward whatever storm or sun next. Together,